Good afternoon. So, we're day 20 something into this now with the concept of it only taking 61 days and 61 conversations to change the entire world. Really simple social experiment. Some of you have joyfully followed along on the journey, and I appreciate that. It's a lot of fun being able to bounce your ideas in the universe. And I think if they were super terrible, I think someone would have said something. And if they were spot on and I was all the way right, I'm sure someone would have told me I was wrong. So I feel like so far together, we're examining my philosophy of life, which is just free will. It's really weird to sit down with people and have a conversation and never see anybody's face and not have an opportunity to share ideas. It's interesting. And I didn't think I was going to like it when I started. And now I severely enjoy it. However, sometimes I get sidetracked with things. And I think I've deleted like 3 videos that I've made, at least 2. I deleted yesterday's video. No one's seen it, so it don't matter. But I had to remind myself, weird ways that I talk to myself, that probably most of yesterday's video was in the wrong state of mind and it had nothing really to do with philosophy. And if I'm not going to take my philosophy seriously, then I can't expect anyone else to put any thought into it. So I deleted the video. I was ranting and raving. It was fun. So instead, I'll probably do 2 videos today. Excuse me. And I wanted to talk about something that I thought was pretty cool. And it all ties into everything in some weird way. So you just have to bear with me. But I want to talk about, it's the best word to use because this is a packed subject. I want to talk about growth. Now, we can define growth from plants and animals and ourselves and different measurements. But there's another kind of growth, right? The growth of mind. We don't even got to say soul. We won't even go to know, you know, anything. We'll just talk about intelligence, growing intelligence. It changes what we're talking about and how we're talking about it just by saying that. And the thing is if you ever stop to think that your mind grows, I promise I'm not just being dumb. Have you ever stopped to consider that everything's in motion and so you're continuously learning things? Even if you're just learning the traffic patterns as you go to work and home every day, you're still learning things every day. You're growing as a human being. And we get in these like cycles where it becomes real. This is my whole life, and this is what's going on, and this is what I have to do every day, and this is the structure, and this is what it looks like, and this is how I plan for when I get older, and this is sometime out there, hopefully, I die, right? And I think growth stops right there. I think the second that we lock ourselves into a pattern, that we create like our own mental stagnation. and you can get really good at your job, but you start to lose focus of everything that isn't your job. You got your convenience store you stop at to get your snacks. You've got your grocery store that you shop at. You got your place you get your tires done. You know, if you like eating out, you have your restaurants. Only people that get drunk and try new bars go outside of their comfort zone. Everybody else locks themselves in this pattern, and there's really not that many things in the pattern. It really isn't. It's somehow our own belief in what is truth just like stops. And for a lot of people, you got to work hard, right? And so, like, by working hard, you don't have a lot of time to think because you got to work hard to get where you want to get, right? Like, it's important, you know? I used to think when I was a kid, everybody was smarter than me. I'm sure of it. That the older you got, the smarter you got. Because that's what was happening with me. Even if I rebelled at school, wasn't because I wasn't learning anything. Because I just hated the structure itself. The like, it was like they wanted to give you a haircut every day of the week. Every day of the week, they wanted you to cut your hair. That was school. And there was interesting things you could learn about, but only a very rigid structure that mentally stunts you to do the same thing as an adult until you die. No growth. None. And I have a problem with it. So I don't like school that much. But where I'm going with this, what I'm trying to express to you, is I think it's easier than we think about for change. I know the idea of change goes against that structure that we tell ourselves, right? The structure of like this and A, B, C, and D, and that equals Z for me, and that's it. And all the other numbers and letters and who's who's in office and who's the sheriff and like who lost their job at the grocery store. I don't have time for none of that shit because A, B, C, D, E equals Z for me, and that's it. And there's nothing else I'm adding into it. And maybe if I get enough money, I might add a couple more letters to the alphabet, but it's still going right to Z for me, and I don't care about the rest of it. So my question, I guess, is if school is supposed to educate you in the ways of the world and the knowledge that we currently have, I thought that's what school's supposed to be, and give it to you in a way that you can use it to create into the world more, not to maintain the status quo. You ever heard that expression? Maintain the status quo? Well, they do that. They cull out geniuses left and right. They destroy creativity left and right. That is the education system. And we're not even aware of it because part of the cycle is our kids have a place to go every day so we can go to work, and it's school. So they will teach them the curriculum and how to pass tests and how to stay in a structured area according to structured time. And then at the end of that, well, then you take your kids home, right? And see how that's a weird way to talk about it, the structure of that? I don't hear any growth in that structure, but have you ever noticed that that is Western society? That's how it's set up. Could that be why there's a very small percentage of people that are highly intelligent in the United States? Not because they couldn't learn anything or that, but the very way it was presented with like caps and levels and where you got your education and where you got your college degree from. That's the filter system. That's the filter system. But If the filter system wasn't in place, I wonder how many people would want the education from Harvard. Didn't have to pay for it. Fuck your tuition. Not even stand on campus. I don't care about none of your weird fucking rules or traditions at all. I'm just going to show up and I'm going to go to all the classes and get the best education that money used to be able to buy. And everybody has the right to do that. What would be wrong with that? Can I ask, is there anybody in the audience that can explain to me what would be bad about that scenario? Because, like, I thought about this a lot and I was like, why would there be different levels of education based on money? How does that grow us as like human beings? And then I realized it doesn't. It's the exact opposite of growth. It's the exact opposite of like, they just don't give a fuck. But imagine a world where growth was you could go to any college you wanted because they all had the exact same standard of knowledge and learning. What if we balanced out the education system and made the curriculum free, but we increased it to actually how much we know with our science and our math and everything else, the things that they don't talk about, the experiments that they get to try in their special labs and their funded shit, but everybody gets to try it. I wonder how many Einsteins have been brainwashed. I wonder how many Nicholas Teslas were just like slammed into a category and have a nice fucking life. I wonder how many Beethovens got told to go the fuck to work and shut the fuck up. I wonder how many dreamers and thinkers and creators and inventors. I wonder how much. Let's take a guess on this. You think maybe we'd know 20% more, be 20% farther ahead with our knowledge generalized all the way across the board if everybody had access to the same level of education? Do you think we'd be fucked up saying that? That we could grow the entire knowledge base of humanity as a whole by 20% if everybody had the same level? Not, I don't give a fuck. A community college and Yale, same curriculum, same opportunities, same open doors when you're done with it. If you show an aptitude in whatever it is that you wanted to study, take as long as you want. Spend your whole life and study. And then come write a paper on it when you're 50. That's fine too. But how much of the world do you think has been polluted just by destroying the thinker's ability to think outside of time, to think outside of the norms of the social construct, and how many hours in a day and how many of those you need to provide your presence to for someone else to live for just a few hours for yourself, and most of that spent in sleep, and never educated that like literally you could do anything. Never educated. We consider ourselves educated, don't we? You know, we have structures and college degrees and certificates and pieces of dead paper, and but we're killing at least 20% of everything we could have learned just from that fact alone. I'm just breaking down the pie chart because growth really is being stunted in my opinion, and I've been trying to figure out what exactly is it. So I'm trying to break it down into a pie chart. Right now our education system, my opinion, is personally responsible for at least 20% of everything that's wrong in the universe as we know it currently. 20%. And it may be more. I'm not God. I don't have a quantum brain, you know? I can't see all the limitless possibilities and how much it would have changed if just they would have let 10% more into Yale. I don't know, but imagine all the people that got rejected. What if every person that applied for Yale got into Yale or Harvard or anything else? How many human beings wanted that level of education and were denied for whatever reason? How many? How many? And so, you know, I think we're going to do growth as a pie chart over the next few videos. I think that's what we're going to work on. We're just going to kind of mosey on over that direction and see how it works out. Because I think if I could break this all the way down in conversation with myself and you viewers, if there are any, that maybe I can come to some kind of conclusion on how to combat the system. Because if I just need a percentage of the world to get better, we could just start with education. It'd be weird. A lot of people would be butthurt, and all the money they paid for education and all the student debt. You just forgive all that. It's not real money anyway. At this point, the interest that's been collected off money that never existed in the first place is so profound that if you need to understand why we have a national debt, it's because of that. Because we print the money that we pay other people with, and they print the money that you pay them with. And if you don't pay on time, there's interest rate. The money was never created. So that's the part they don't talk about. The money that you owe, the interest that they've tacked onto it is money that doesn't actually exist in our monetary system. There's no actual bills for it. And so every time they tack on interest and you have to pay back more money, that's money that didn't previously exist. And now there's more money in the system because you paid more money, but it doesn't really exist. And I know this sounds like a really hard concept to grasp, but it's not. It's not. The financial system is really not that difficult to figure out. It's really not. But I digress. I think that if we offered education on a level that was fun and interactive, like they do in high end colleges that make you want to go to the classes, if we started that in kindergarten where we're doing activities and stuff, we never stop doing activities all the way through college and we just do all the things. So by the time somebody's 24 years old, they've had like 4 life experiences, had 3 jobs, went through fucking 23 different categories of some kind of education that they wanted to learn about, and now, as this new human being with all this extra knowledge, they do whatever they want in the world. I wonder how that would change the balance of everything. I wonder if that would cause chaos. I don't want to cause anyone to like lose their cookies over this, but like this kind of sounds like a decent idea. I'm gonna have to continue to think about it. But just thought I'd pose it to you, throw it out there. What if we change education system like that? What do you think? Talk to me about it. Share it out. Let's get some views on this. Let's get some people talking about it. Let's figure this out.